Hi there, today we're going to start some apple vinegar. Now I just did apple butter. I've got it in the crock pot behind me, and this is all of the cores from that. Because this kind of only filled, I had this big jar and it only filled it up halfway. I popped down to the backyard where there's an apple tree and I just grabbed a couple of apples. I just want to bulk it up a little bit. Now if your apples have wax on them and have been treated, then you're definitely going to want to peel them. Now we're going to go through some stages here, and for these stages we have to have pure cane sugar. Now the sugar is food, and the sugar is going to feed the natural yeast and turn it into alcohol. Then the good bacteria is going to take over and turn that alcohol into vinegar. So by the time it's turned into vinegar, the sugar's gone, and then you're just left with a natural probiotic rich vinegar. So for about this much apples, I'm going to do 1/4 cup of my pure cane sugar, and then I'm going to add water. And it's important here that your water, I'm using distilled or filtered, no chlorine. Chlorine can just stop your fermentation and just ruin them. So you don't want the chlorine. And I just want to cover these. I just want them to float and give them a stir. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this someplace, not in direct sunlight, but it's okay if it's on your kitchen counter. When I'm doing something like this, I have to put it out where I'm going to see it every day, because I want to come and give it a stir every day. If you just kind of put a cloth over it and left it someplace, the chances of mold growing on top would be great. But if you come and stir it every day, you're not going to have mold. Now this is going to take 2 to 3 weeks, and it just really depends on the temperature in the room. So for now, I am going to, you can use a coffee filter or something here. I just took flour sack towel and cut it and put a rubber band around it. So here we are. It's been 3 weeks. I have given it a stir every day, and this is what it looks like. I know it's not very pretty. Now, signs that you know it's done fermenting. Those apples have sunk to the bottom. They've given all that they can give. There's no more active fermentation happening. And it's pretty cloudy. You know, you don't see any activity in here. So you know that it's done. At this point, it smells more soury than vinegary. But as it sets, it will develop more of a vinegary taste and smell. I like to let it sit after I strain it for a good month. Unfortunately, I do not have test strips here on the boat. I would test strip it. You're going to get an acidity level between 3 and 6%, and this depends on how much sugar you put in it and how much sugar was actually in the apples and the temperature of your room as well. So I'm going to strain this. Now what we've created here is a live probiotic vinegar. If you're going to pickle, then go buy a 5% vinegar for that. Otherwise, any other recipe that you want to make, any recipe that calls for vinegar, you can use this in it. And you can also drink a little bit every day. I use it for my homemade conditioner. So it's really, really good stuff. Now, so we're just going to store this in a jar. I'm going to sit it in the pantry. Again, if you can give it a month, it really starts to mellow out. You might see a mother start to develop on the bottom, and that is perfectly safe. In fact, if you do and you start a new batch, you put a little bit of that mother in your new batch and it'll kind of jumpstart it. Because this is alive and it'll probably have a little pressure buildup, leave a headspace. Don't put it all the way to the top. So don't throw those cores away. Don't throw those scraps away, because you can make your very own live probiotic apple vinegar. See y'all later. Bye.